Alright, I finally got this a little bit earlier now, as it's time for my week 7 picks of the 2020 NFL season. As last week I went 8-6, my worst week of the year so far, which is sad, unfortunately. Even though I'm still overall percentage-wise doing better than normal. And of course, here is the playoffs and regular season standings as the season ended today. As finally got lined up. In the AFC, it's the Steelers with the bye, with the Colts at Titans, Browns at Chiefs, and Ravens at Bills. And the NFC, it's Seahawks with the bye, as Rams are at the Bears, Cardinals at Buccaneers, and Packers at Cowboys. And my Super Bowl pick right now, I did the picks earlier. Before I film, I'm picking the Packers to beat the Steelers. So now, let's get to my Week 7 picks. As here we go, lined up. As we start off with Thursday night, as the Giants are at the Eagles, as the Eagles have won the last 7 in a row. The Giants haven't beaten them since 2016 and 2013 in Philly, as the Giants finally got their first win last week against the football team. And the Eagles, oh man, they were getting destroyed by the Ravens, but of course the Ravens were beginning to choke, and the Eagles were making the comeback, but they couldn't get in the end because of the 2-point conversion. What else could happen? Oh boy, this is going to be probably low-scoring defensive struggle, and I'm picking the Eagles to get it. So then we get to the big one that was supposed to be back on Week 4, I believe it was, but now it's on Week 7, and it's a big one for the AFC number 1 seed on the line, as the Steelers are at the Titans for the first time since 2014. As the Steelers try to go 6-0 for the first time since 1978, the Titans try to go 6-0 for the first time since 2008. As the Steelers won the last 2, the Titans haven't beaten the Steelers since 2013 and 2008 when they host them. So Steelers, they destroyed the Browns, which I'm not surprised whatsoever. And the Texans, Titans, they almost choked against the Texans like I predicted in my video, which I didn't get to go into detail last week because the video didn't get recorded with my voice. But I said in the video I expected the Texans to pull off the upset because I figured they're now with a different coach that actually is competent, that they would actually start to play much better, and I predicted they would beat the Titans, and they almost did. So the Titans managed to hold on though in overtime. It's going to be a tough one though, because they're going to be against literally the best defense in the league. I'm not kidding. When I looked up Pro Football Reference for stats, the Steelers are number 1 in everything. I've never seen this before in the years I've done this stat list. I've never seen a team that's number 1 in every single category. Unbelievable. So the Steelers legit have the number 1 defense in the league, and it's incredible. But of course, how will this game play? This is going to be incredible. Oh boy, very difficult. But you know what? If you put me back in this game like in Week 4, I probably would pick the Steelers. But you know what? Despite having the number 1 defense, I'm going to probably pick the Titans to get this, especially after I saw how they played against the Texans and made that comeback. But watch, they'll probably choke and get their ass kicked by Steelers, but I'm picking the Titans for this. And then it's the Cowboys at the football team. Oh, please, Redskins rule, please apply and let the Cowboys win for me. But anyways, the Cowboys won the last 3. The football team hasn't won since 2018, as the Cowboys... Oh my god, I knew you were going to get destroyed by the Cardinals, but the way you got destroyed was absolutely funny as hell. Sucks I couldn't watch a lot of the games. I had to do stuff around the house. That was so funny though. Kyler Murray didn't really play that spectacular, but he still destroyed you. And of course, without Dak, those offensive stats you see the Cowboys are really elite in are going to begin tumbling and tumbling down really, really quickly. I'm surprised they didn't tumble down that much from their destruction they took. And the football team lost against the Giants. Of course, maybe if you should have gone for the extra point instead of tied up going to overtime. But I doubt they were going to win that one either way. So, oh boy. You know what? I'm probably going to pick the football team first, because the Cowboys... They were a terrible team with only a slight chance to have a chance to win because of Dak. But without Dak, we saw what happened on Monday night. Cardinals killed them, and I'm actually going to pick the football team to get this. But hey, I will not be surprised if the Cowboys win. But of course, remember, Redskins rule, so please win, Cowboys, for me. Then it's the Bills at the Jets, as the Jets try to avoid 0-7 for the first time since 1996. As the rematch from their Week 1 game, the Bills won that one. Keep the streak going. The Jets haven't beaten the Bills at home since 2017, as the Bills now lost 2 in a row against obviously better teams than them in the Titans and Chiefs. And the Jets got shut out last week by the Dolphins. Why are we surprised by that? I'm going to pick the Bills for this. Come on, Bills. If you don't beat the Jets here, maybe you're not really ready to contend for a Super Bowl run. Maybe you're just lucky that the Patriots are struggling this year for you to win the division right now. But I'm picking the Bills for this. That's a big one in the NFC South, as the Panthers are at the Saints, as the Saints won the last 2. And the Panthers, they lost to the Bears. That was kind of disappointing how they played. Pretty disappointing. The Saints were on their bye. As, what was their last game again? Oh, that's right, that incredible Monday Nighter against the Chargers. Man, you almost choked it, but you managed to get it in the end. I'm still a little bit worried about the Saints. And, of course, remember, the last time they played, the last bunch of years they played the Panthers when they host them, the games have been really, really close. So, Saints, do not underestimate the Panthers, but I'm going to still pick you. You better hope your defense shows up. Then it's the Packers at the Texans for the first time since 2012. As the Packers won the last 2, the Texans haven't beaten them since 2008, and they've never beaten them hosting them yet. They failed both times in 2004 and 2012. Anyways, the Packers. Oh, God. I thought they were going to kill the Buccaneers last week. And at first they were, but then when the first pick six happened, and then the other almost pick six happened, I'm like, oh my God, it's going to be one of those games where the Buccaneers are going to blow them out. And they did. Absolute humiliation that time, too. Absolute embarrassment to how the Packers played. But, of course, it was bound to happen eventually to get that first loss. And the Texans, yeah, they had some life in them after they got rid of Bill O'Brien. They almost beat the Titans. They choked in the end, though, but they almost did. This is a completely different Texans team than it was the first 4 weeks of the year. So, Packers, do not underestimate the Texans. They can beat you. But I'm still going to pick the Packers for this. I won't be surprised, though, if the Texans get it. Then our Ohio matchup again, as the Browns are at the Bengals, as a rematch from their Week 2 Thursday Nighter. As the Browns won the last one, the Bengals haven't beaten them since 2019. The Browns, of course, got destroyed, absolutely destroyed by the Steelers. I think Baker got injured, so I have no idea if he's going to be playing or not. Bengals, what the fuck? You went up 21-0 on the Colts and you couldn't get the win? Come on, that was embarrassing. But like I said, other than the Ravens lost this year, the Bengals have been competitive in all their games, so you could easily make the argument, hey, they could be 5-1 if things went their way. And let's see, the Bengals do have a good history when they host the Browns the last 5 years. And they almost did beat them earlier this year, too, on Thursday night. So you know what? I'm going to pick the Bengals for this one. Let's see if the Browns can get their shit fixed after getting destroyed by the Steelers to get to 5-2. All right, then it'll be the Lions at the Falcons for the first time since 2014. And technically first time since 2008, because their 2014 game was in London, remember? As the Falcons won the last game, the Lions haven't beaten them since 2014. So, the Lions beat the Jaguars pretty convincingly last week. I thought it was going to be an offensive shot. And, hey, just for the Falcons, just like the Texans, once they got rid of Dan Quinn, the team completely flipped around as they absolutely destroyed the Vikings and got their revenge from their Week 1 loss last year up there. What a dominant performance that was. They made Kirk Cousins look so bad, and their defense still looks really bad, but it's gotten a little bit better, because remember, like a few weeks ago, they were like worse in like every single category. So this game could definitely be an offensive shootout, but of course, if that's the case, I'm picking the Falcons for that one. Yeah, once you got rid of Bill O'Brien and Dan Quinn, the teams, Falcons and Texans, just dramatically turned around in performance. So let's see if the Falcons can continue that trend. And then we get to our 4 p.m. games, as it'll start off with the Seahawks at the Cardinals, a big one in the NFC West, as the Seahawks try to go 6-0 for the first time ever, as the Seahawks were on their bye last week as they just barely beat the Vikings. Oh my God, just barely beat them. And the Cardinals got that impressive, not surprising, dominant victory on the Cowboys last Monday night. Now, here's one thing I never get about these two. The Cardinals won the last one, but for the entire 2010 so far, the last 10 years almost, or at least since Russell Wilson's been there, whoever was the away team in this game wins all the time almost. The Seahawks haven't lost to the Cardinals in Arizona since 2012. They've won every single game when they're at Glendale. Meanwhile, the Cardinals can't stop winning when they go to the Seahawks. I just find that so incredible how the away team just regularly wins this game, especially since the Seahawks are the much better team over this time. I just, for life of me, don't get it. And every time I pick the home team to get, they continue to lose. Oh, man. So, this could be an offensive shootout. And you know what? I probably would pick the Cardinals since they're playing much better. But you know what? With the trends the way they are, I'm going to actually take a chance this time and pick the Seahawks for this one. Watch, all the times I picked the Cardinals beforehand, they don't win. Now that I pick the Seahawks, watch, oh, the Cardinals now finally win it and give the Seahawks their first loss. I'm picking the Seahawks, though. Then it'll be the Jaguars at the Chargers for the first time since 2016. And this is the first time the Jaguars are in Los Angeles. So how about that? As the Chargers won the last game, the Jaguars haven't beaten them since 2017, and they've never beaten them on the road. As the Jaguars, what was their oh, that's right, they got spanked by the Lions. Yeah, the Minshew Magic, it had a good start to the year, but it looks like it's finally starting to fizzle out unless something changes really dramatically. And the Chargers are off from their bye. As, what the hell, you spanked the Saints and then you blew it in overtime? Come on, man, that was bad. Really, really bad. But now you're at home against the Jaguars, and you know what? For the first time this year, I'm going to pick the Chargers to get this one. But watch, Minshew Magic shows up and they choke against the Jaguars. And then we get to the 49ers at the Patriots for the first time since 2012. As the Patriots won the last one, the 49ers haven't beaten them since that Sunday night in 2012. As the 49ers got that needed victory against the Rams last week to get the free. They need that. How about that? Everyone in the NFC West so far, 500 or above record-wise. Really good division so far. And the Patriots, what the hell was that? You embarrassed yourself against the Broncos last week. That was bad. Absolute bad. Oh, man. And I really don't know what to say about this one, as both teams are struggling. I probably should be picking the 49ers, but I'm going to pick the Patriots for this one. I think last week was just more like a one-off thing, but who knows? Maybe the two bad losses against the Chiefs and Broncos, maybe that's a sign that the Patriots really are starting to decline, as I predicted they would, but not this bad. Then it'll be the Chiefs at the Broncos, as the Chiefs won the last 9 in a row. The Broncos haven't beaten the Chiefs since that Thursday nighter in 2015, and they haven't beaten them in Denver since 2014. As the Chiefs, they played the Bills Thursday night this last Monday. Ugly, but a convincing win still nonetheless. And the Broncos, hey, they won 2 in a row now. They finally ended that streak, and they now won 2 in a row and still hanging in there, as they need to win to keep up with the Raiders and Chiefs in that division. But as you see, look at the stats. Chiefs have one of the most elite offense in the league. The Broncos' offense is literally worst to second to worst in every single category. That's overall probably the worst offense in the league. And the Broncos' defense is dog shit, plus their history. I think it's obvious the Chiefs I'm picking. And then it'll be Sunday night. I still have no idea why they picked this. As the Buccaneers are at the Raiders for the first time since 2012. As the Raiders won the last one, the Buccaneers haven't beaten them since 2012. Buccaneers, oh my God, what a dominant performance they had against the Packers. Once that second pick, almost pick 6 happened, I knew the Buccaneers were probably going to win it there. And they did, and they blew them out. A very needed victory. And the Raiders, of course, were on their bye from last week as they put up that really impressive performance against the Chiefs and gave them their first loss of the year. This will be interesting to see still nonetheless. But I'm going to pick the Raiders for this one. But watch, they'll choke and let the Buccaneers get it. And then we get to Monday night. It looks good record-wise, but actual matchup, not so much. As the Bears are at the Rams for the second year in a row, because remember last year was Sunday night, as the Rams won that one. The Bears haven't beaten them since 2018, and they haven't beaten them on the road since 2015 when they were in St. Louis. As the Bears again keep winning games they should not be winning when they beat the Panthers last week and the Rams. What in the absolute hell did you do against the 49ers? You choked that one. You look bad. Absolute bad. Oh my God, that was horrendous. But still overall a really good team. The Bears, not so much, especially offensively. And of course they embarrassed them last time, so I'm picking the Rams for this. But hey, the Bears have won so many games that they should have lost. So if anything, maybe the Rams should take them serious and not lose this time, like everyone else has. So those are my picks for Week 7. Of course, as always, I cannot wait for the slugfest that is Giants and Eagles tonight, since I'll probably be the only one watching it, of course. So my picks: Eagles beating the Giants, Titans beating the Steelers, the football team beating the Cowboys, Bills beating Jets, Saints beating Panthers, Packers beating Texans, Bengals beating Browns, Falcons beating Lions, Seahawks beating Cardinals, Chargers beating Jaguars, Patriots beating 49ers, Chiefs beating Broncos, Raiders beating Buccaneers, and Rams beating the Bears. So see you guys next time for Week 8.